Good morning and welcome back to the saga of Caesarian cow and Caesarian calf.
Come on, fella. Right, let him down. A bit of iodine on his nose.
I've already done it.
You've done it, well done.
So here we have Mrs. Very Nasty Caesarian cow. She's not very nice at all, hence why she is behind bars. I have just managed to capture this little fella and I want to show you why I have a problem with him. That is my problem. That does not look like a full calf to me. Look, this is a big animal. And I do not know how much milk he's drunk. Still really wobbly. Yes, he is huge. But I just don't like this. So yesterday, me and Roy both saw this calf sucking. And last night I came and I saw him sucking. This cow's tits, whatever you want to call them, they're all sparkling clean. Yes, he might have been on, and he might be totally fine, and he might just be empty, I don't know, but I'm gonna tube him anyway for my own peace of mind. I'm gonna tube him with colostrum from a friend's dairy farm, and they sent some over, and I'll show you what they put it in for us. I've got my warm milk that's been defrosting in a nice sink of hot water. This tube here fits onto the bag of milk. There are several attachments for this. So this tube is by a company called Anti-Innovations. You can find them on all social media platforms. I will also tag them below this and on my TikTok as well. I have found these to be life-saving products, and I don't say that lightly. Story time! So, a couple of years ago, I killed a calf. On this very normal, unsuspecting day, I tubed a big red calf, huge red calf actually, it was massive. And I thought nothing of it. My father-in-law was here, Roy was here, Roy's brother was here, and Roy's brother's Mrs. Tracy and her 2 kids were also here. So there was literally an audience of like 7 people. So like any normal day, we're all chatting away. I stick the tube down, I listen, I hear. So then I say, go on, you tip the milk. So it was one of the old-fashioned tubey bags like this. This is probably the exact bag. And if you note, it says recommended for single use only. Now that had nothing to do with this situation, but I'm just saying that I had never noticed that before. Anyhow, this bag, I used to put the tube in the calf and then I'd give Roy a behold of the bag, and then Roy would tip milk out of a jug into this and lift it up, and it would go down into the calf's stomach. Although it didn't go down into the calf's stomach, did it? The first thing I noticed was milk coming out of the calf's nose. We pulled the tube out, too late. So the lungs are like a sponge, basically. They're not like an empty chamber that you can fill up with liquid. They're like a sponge. And the milk was already in the sponge. Calf was tipped... The calf was tipped upside down, which probably made the situation worse, but at the time it was try everything, and it was all my fault. There was no one else to blame. I did it. I gave the go-ahead to tip the milk down. It was my job to tube the calves. We had a massive fallout. Me and Roy had a massive fallout. I don't mind telling you that. I went and slept at my mum's. The whole thing was just an absolute disaster. I felt more than guilty. You know, I literally tried to help something and killed it. Now, I'm not telling you that for clout. I've told this story on TikTok before. I'm telling you that because I then went to the vets and I said, how have I possibly done this wrong? I thought I'd done everything right. She then explained to me how to tube a calf. You heard me right. How to tube a calf. So, if you feel here, this hard bit there, that's your windpipe, and that is hard, okay? So your esophagus, which is the one that your food and drink goes down, that's soft, right? So if you shoved a tube, for instance, down your windpipe, you would not feel it. If you shoved it down your esophagus, the right hole, you would feel it going down. So what you do, oh, steady, Fido, steady. You're standing up. Your mum's up. Yeah, here. So what you do when you're tubing the calf, is you keep your hands here like this, that there, and you should feel the tube going past your fingers, and that is how you know you're in the right hole. If you want to listen, listen. But you know what? Listening, completely for me. I killed the animal. Like, I'm not even joking. I can't even implore you enough to learn how to do this properly instead of just what your dad did and your granddad did, because God, it can go so badly wrong. So as I said, the first thing I did was I rang the vets and I said, how could I have possibly done this, and what can I do in the future to stop it happening again? I admitted my failure completely, morally as well. I was absolutely mortified, and tubing another animal was a terrifying prospect for me, absolutely terrifying, but it had to be done. It's something that's unavoidable on a farm, and you're best knowing how to do it. Secondly, I also invested in high quality kit. Those like one-use tubes are absolute. They are piles of shit. I do not recommend them. They can, I've seen them with gaffer tape around them before. I can't even tell you how bad that is. Roy's been to the vet before to do something with a horse, and there was a girl extracting part of a tube out of a calf because it had snapped off in the calf. That's how bad it is. So, these are 60 quid for the bag. Well worth, 100 million% well worth getting one. There's several different products. There's bigger pipes, there's smaller pipes. It's got a weight thing on here that you can see. So basically what happens is, wiggle in. So what happens is you push all of this in the calf's mouth to here, and then you thread the tube down the calf's throat. This is much kinder, and it stops all the tubes scratching the inside of the throat. But I just find the flexibility of this tube and the fact that it isn't one use, it's kitted out for purpose, you know, it's exactly what we're meant to be using. There's then the milk that I have just defrosted. That fits perfectly on here, and we'll tube the calf. So, yes. And as you can see, I am on my own. Roy has disappeared off somewhere, and I can do this alone with this easy to use products. Your mum doesn't really like Medda. It's quite a big calf, so I'm gonna literally hold him. So I'll put it in his mouth. You can see my hands here. I am feeling. There's no ramming, there's no shoving. Wait for him to swallow. Right, I can feel that tube there, it's here. Can you see? It's here. I can feel it going down. So that tube is in the right hole. Grab the bag, lift it up, and there's a little thing. Like that. And then pull it out. Happy? So I'm now happy that this calf, it doesn't look a right lot fuller, has had something to eat. He's also had good quality colostrum, which is exactly what I wanted him to have. And although I do believe he's been on his mum, this is just for my peace of mind, because he is quite a big animal. Do you know, just Already? Thank you. That's what man gaps are for. Don't look at me like that. You just... Now, I don't tell you that awful scary story to terrify people or click up the views or whatever. I'm telling you because I don't want anyone else to have to do it. I don't want anyone else to have to feel the absolute horror and guilt after drowning something. It is just... I can't even tell you how awful it was. It was terrible. You spend your life trying to take care of these animals and you think you're doing the best thing, all of a sudden for you to just kill a brand new life that's just made it into the world. There is nothing worse, and there is no worse feeling. I might even tidy up. I might not. So I was looking at this calf's poo, and I sent a video of said poo to the vet. And we have decided that the calf could be a little bit scoured out. Ew. And although he looks quite bright, I'm just going to make sure he's not dehydrated, and I'm going to tube him again, this time with rehydro gel mixed with water. This is the other Anti-Innovations product that I use, and basically the same applies, but it's just in a hard bottle. Ew, that's gross. There's definitely a reason why I'm worried about this calf. Ew. I think I'm gonna start him on a course of antibiotics in case he has got a bit of an infection. That is a stinky... Gonna go and get him a little injection. We's not out the woods yet. No, it's like water with bits of yellow in it.
Right.
I'm gonna start him on a course of antibiotics. Always something. Always something.